now, our ciders have used the Star Wars expanded universe in their narrative, but they don't know anything about the EU, and they only use it when it's convenient for them. There was a post on X, an exchange about a week ago, and that's what gave me the idea for this video. It's something that the great Greg Hates Everything, formerly known as Tuscan Bob, has been saying for years, but we're going to take a look at some examples today to prove his point. But first, let's look at the post on X that led me to the video idea. I quoted Chris Gore, who had said everyone who is a Star Wars fan wanted Han, Luke, and Leia to reunite for another adventure. This is perhaps the worst mistake in cinema history, and costly too. This one decision destroyed the franchise. He's not right there, and we can get into that later, but what did I say in my quote? Han, Luke, and Leia reunited many times. We got Heir to the Empire, Spectre of the Past, we've got Destiny's Way, the Japanese cover here, and then we have Exile from the great Aaron Alston, part of the Legacy of the Force. So here's what spurred the video idea. Bane of the Shills, a great ally, replies and says, "It's funny because many of the Dune is more intellectual alleged Star Wars fans all discredit or ignore all of the brilliant books of Star Wars, yet all the Dune books count somehow? It's fucking really odd." And what did I say? I said, it's because they have never read Dune either. And you and Lost Jedi 22, that's Greg, gave me a video idea. And that's the exact truth. I guarantee most of these people that claim to love these new Dune movies have never read the original novel or anything written in the spin-off books by Frank Herbert or even Kevin J. Anderson, a seminal Star Wars Expanded Universe author. It's because they use stuff as part of their narrative when it's convenient for them to do so. And they did this with the Expanded Universe. Greg's point that he's made on streams throughout the years, if you go back to 2018, 2019, even 2020, a lot of these channels were still talking about the Expanded Universe. Oh no, look what they did to the Expanded Universe and all this stuff. Well, you've seen the exchanges we've had recently in the last year or so. They're all taking the other line, right? They're taking the shill line, that the Expanded Universe was never canon. Hey, look, we're using the same quotes, the same out-of-context quotes of stuff that George said to say the Expanded Universe is not canon. It's pretty sad because you go back 5, 6, 7 years, and they're using the Expanded Universe to push their narrative. But now they've chucked it under the bus, and they no longer care about the Expanded Universe. You can go back and find examples of this, like I said, but we're going to show a few choice examples right here today. Let's start with the old Overlord DVD here. Brie Larson is about to be cast in a Star Wars role that will alienate EU fans forever. Oh no! And then you got this one. This vid examines rumors of how the Lucasfilm Civil War began and why Kennedy banished the EU. Both of those from spring of 2021. Let's scroll down here. February. Darth Talon, the popular EU character, is poised to become the next big villain in the Star Wars Favreauverse. That turned out to be bullshit, according to a new rumor. Does this mean Favreau is not only saving Star Wars, but the EU as well? Look at that. Doomcock cares about the EU, right? Well, let's look at recent stuff. Here's his channel on YouTube. Let's see if there's anything in videos about Expanded Universe. Of course, you got the latest bullshit about Kathleen Kennedy. You got something about Rey here. You got Mickey. Supergirl, everyone was talking about that, right? You've got Tuvok, Tim Russ. Piece of shit, by the way. You've got Snow White. We're talking about Snow White, Iron Man, Doom. I don't see anything here about Expanded Universe. When was the last book read? Cracker Barrel. I don't see anything about Star Wars Expanded Universe in 2025. And I guarantee if we keep scrolling here, we're not going to see anything else. Complete fraud. Let's move on to the Banjo Boys. So last year, March 2025, it's cool, I have no problem with the EU, but I will always have the opinion that George had very little to do with it. There just isn't enough evidence to suggest otherwise. It's not an opinion. There's no opinion here. We've proven that George directly influenced the expanded universe. Quit ignoring the facts. You go back same day, I think, with the same conversation here, Lord Scourge. Also, George Lucas, I don't read that stuff. I haven't read any of the novels. I don't know anything about that world. If you love the EU, that is totally cool. Canon? Then he's got Elmo here, shrugging. So again, using the same quotes as the shills. That's what they say now. That's what the illiterates are saying now. But they were singing a different tune almost 4.5 years ago. Let's check that stuff out. August of 2021. Here he is, grifting off of the Heart of the Jedi book, the canceled expanded universe book that was released on Amazon. I have several copies myself. Hopefully, they're worth their weight in gold soon. And then they even interviewed Kenneth C. Flint, the author of the book. So they're all into the EU here. I guarantee they never read the book. They released some kind of audio version of the book, whatever. They don't care about the expanded universe. So why are they even doing this? Again, to grift off of the topic. Recent exchanges with people like that, people like Shield Trooper, show that they have no respect for the expanded universe. So stop talking about it, guys. Stop using it. Unless you're going to be a shepherd of real Star Wars into the next generation, if you're going to help preserve real Star Wars, up to and including the expanded universe, because no doubt about it, the expanded universe is canon, then stay out of the topic. Go talk about something else. Change your channel names again and change your topics because you don't know anything about real Star Wars. Thanks to Tuscan Bob, Greg Hates Everything, for pointing this out for years. It really pisses me off when I think about it. Stop being an illiterate and pick up a book. It's Star Wars.